What's up, beautiful? I'm so excited because it is officially spring and now is the perfect time to think about a spring reset. Look, you don't have to reset for the entire year, but this is getting ready to be the start of Q2. This is about to be a brand new 12 weeks. And so now is the best time of the year, I believe, to go ahead and reset what you already started and put into motion. Make sure we continue with the positive momentum. I'm going to share you the 5 tips that I think need to happen quarterly for every reset, but especially the springtime. Number 3 is my absolutely favorite, and I'm hoping that you will take away from that too. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first one I believe is critical is just transforming your space. And I don't mean transforming your space in getting new furniture, getting new bedding, getting all of that stuff, but making subtle and small changes to your space that signal that this is the beginning of a new quarter. It is the beginning of a new season. For me, particularly, I love to change out my decor seasonally. And I'm going to say something because remember, we're also about saving money and being fiscally responsible. I think it makes more sense to just kind of invest in the same decor that you're going to change out season after season. So then when the season rolls around, you pretty much pull out the things that you already know that you're going to decorate. There's nothing revolutionary about it, but you may do something as simple as changing out your table linens. It may be something as essential as changing out your kitchen linens. It could be changing out your towels. It could be changing out your throw pillows. Just those little subtle changes that signal to you visually that we are in a new season. And I know I mentioned decluttering, and some of you like to go deep diving and doing like spring purging and closets and rearranging all of that. If that's your thing, this is a great natural time of year to do that. But I'm talking about really light decluttering, nothing that's going to stress you out, nothing that's going to have you, feeling guilty that you didn't get to it. It's simply just going through your environment and, touching things and realizing, do I use this? Do I not use this? And if not, discard. So for me, that includes my closet. My shoes is usually the time of year where I look and evaluate, okay, do I really need these? I look at high heels that are worn on the heel, and I either decide, am I going to repair these or get rid of these? So this is just a great natural time to refresh space. The other place that you can refresh space that doesn't get talked about enough is your cell phone. So now is a great time to go through and delete apps that you no longer use. Like for example, sometimes I go to conferences and you have to download the app in order to access the agenda. So any apps that you haven't used in the last 6 to 8 weeks, delete them unless they are just very critical and you're only going to pull them out like you need to. Like for example, I have the United app. I haven't used it in a while, but that's not an app I would delete so that when I fly, I'm able to use it. But go through there, go through your social media accounts, definitely purge from people that don't speak to you as it relates to making you feel guilty or making you feel bad. So just declutter your digital space and your environmental space as well. Okay, so the second one is going to be nutrition and wellness. And no, it's not movement. I am going to talk about physical activity definitely before the video is over, but nutrition and wellness is actually something a little bit different. And I think it's really important that you're able to differentiate physical fitness and working out and separate that from nutrition and wellness. Nutrition is the things that you are putting into your body, because I'm sure you're aware that you could absolutely be killing it in the gym and not being able to put good nutrients into your body, good sound, whole, non-processed foods into your body is going to be detrimental. So definitely, I know most of the people that watch my videos are probably over 35 years old. Now is a critical time to just kind of sit back in the spring and take inventory of kind of your eating habits, your consumption of water. This is a great time to look at what nutrients, what vitamins you're taking and what you're putting into your body. Sometimes we just take vitamins and we just take nutrients because we just always have, and they're not even serving ourselves well anymore. This is also a really, really good time to really evaluate any medications that you're on. So if you're on medications for high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and you've just always been on them, now's a great time to evaluate, do you still need to be on them? Have you made the necessarily life changes that really don't need medication anymore? Just really step back and look at this. This is also a great time to really be honest and truthful with yourself of how you feel about nutrition, especially as we are approaching the second quarter of the year. For example, I have come to the conclusion, quite honestly, that I am not someone that is willing to go on a nutrition journey where I'm going to be hungry. I'm just not. Like, I'm too old to be hungry. I'm too old to be hungry, y'all. I'm sorry. I am. Like, if you want to starve yourself, you want to like get back into that dress and you're willing to like go into this massive caloric deficit in order to do so, then more power to you. Me, I need to be full. I need to be satisfied. And one of the things that I have really come to conclusion for me specifically and my body type is the more protein, the more fiber that I eat, and the more my breakfast is a actually bigger meal, the less likely I'm to spend the rest of the day eating things that are not healthy for me. So for me, high protein, moderate carb diet is really the gateway to being healthy. I was laughing because I was on Skinny Talk, which is like TikTok for people that are trying to lose weight, and the way that some of these people were talking about food was crazy. It was like really kind of tough love. And though I don't prescribe to that notion, some of the things were food for thought, like just kind of people's whole relationships with food. So nutrition and wellness, this is a great time to evaluate. Okay, so number 3 is goal setting and achievement, which is like the crux of my channel. And so if you do not know, I am a 12-week planner person. If you have never changed your planner every 12 weeks, I would really just say give it a try, especially if you don't usually hit your goals. The reason that I prescribe to the full focus planner, the 12-week year, whatever you want to call it, is because having the opportunity to start all over at least 4 different times of the year really helps you keep the positive momentum you're going if you are hitting your goals. But if you aren't reaching your goals, it allows you to step back and evaluate them and really just have a fresh start. Today, I believe I'm filming this, and this is March the 28th. Well, April the 1st is, I believe, Tuesday. So April the 1st is a new quarter. Y'all, I get to start all over again. Now, keep in mind, you can start all over anytime you want. But you know, the type A Virgo personality in me definitely needs something that is quantitative. So having that new month to be able to start over helps me. And the reason that I really like the 12-week planning system and why I prescribe to that is not just the ability to start over, but it's kind of the ability to go back and look at what I said on January 1st may not meet my goals on April the 1st. And so just being able to say, okay, is this a goal that I want to continue to make momentum in? Is this a goal that sounded good at the time? And there's definitely a difference between giving up on your goals and making excuses when you evaluate yourself. And I'm being perfectly honest with you, I'm not gonna hit all my goals. If I share with you what some of them were, and that's okay. So my goals were to lose 15 pounds and be back in a size 8. So that I did not achieve. I did not lose 15 pounds. Size 8 dress, probably size 8 pants, absolutely not. Low spend quarter by mostly need over want. I definitely did hit that goal. YouTube grow to 12,000 subs. By the time this video is posted, I won't be at 12,000 subs. Hopefully I'll be getting close to 10. And then prayer and meditation 4 times a week. So I actually did pretty good on that particular goal. So when I set my goals for Sunday, I'm gonna say, okay, what are the goals that I started that I think I want to continue? So what you don't know is by the time you see this video, I would be several weeks probably into 75 soft. And so of course I'm filming what that's gonna look like, and I'll have a couple of videos about that, but I don't want to actually post a video on 75 soft until we hit at least a 25 or the 3-week mark so that you can actually see the progress. But I can tell you, your girl is gonna get to a size 8 by the time I'm done with those 75 days, because I'm well on my way. So whatever you do during this reset, make some time to look at your goals. Okay, number 4 is a little bit outside of my normal personality, but as I get older, I embrace it more. And that is literally being silly. That is literally being jovial, being fun. So one of the things that I really tried to do this past 12 weeks is my kids, as I've shared on this channel, are older. All of them are either grown or on their way out of the house. And so I somehow convinced in my ploy to be silly and to just enjoy life, I convinced my children to go to Chuck E. Cheese. Now, I'm talking my 6'3", 28-year-old son. And so I'm sure I will insert some footage. We go to Chuck E. Cheese, we walk in, he's like, Mom, absolutely not. Like, bruh, like, I feel like a creeper in here. And I was like, no, we used to go to Chuck E. Cheese when y'all were kids. Like, we planned this whole thing. So we were in Chuck E. Cheese for literally like 3 or 4 minutes, and both my kids were like, nah, we're not doing Chuck E. Cheese with you. And I was like, well, you loved Chuck E. Cheese. It was just to be silly. Now we ended up going to the main event, which main event is like an older version of Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, adults can go there. And so we had a blast, but it was just being silly. So what I would suggest during this quarter is to find something that makes you feel like a kid again. Find something that makes you feel silly. Find something that is completely ridiculous and outside of the ordinary that is just gonna make you laugh and put you in a place of just happiness. Like, it really wasn't about Chuck E. Cheese. It was more about me spending time with my kids and being something silly. But we laughed so hard about how dumb it was that we were literally in Chuck E. Cheese. So do something silly this next quarter. Okay, and the last one is physical health, tracking, movements. Don't click off. Don't click off. Don't click off. Because I know some of you are like, oh my God, here she goes again. Y'all, we got to move our bodies. Like, let me tell you something. Yes, I have some goals about my physical body and how my physical appearance is in regards to I want to wear a certain size. But the biggest issue with that is I just think about my ability to move my body when I get older. You know, I do a lot of Peloton workouts, and one of my favorite instructors is Adrian Williams. It does not hurt that he is fine as well. But he talks all the time about having mobility, having movement, having all of these things as you get older, that when you are like 60 or 70, if you could still move, if you are still mobile, if you could still stretch, if you could still walk, like, you are going to have a higher quality of life, but more than likely you're going to have longer life. So when I talk about movement, I'm not necessarily talking about losing weight. I'm talking about being mobile enough that you're able to chase after your kids, chase after your grandkids. You're able to bend over and pick something up without throwing out your back. You're able to climb up a flight of steps without being winded. You're able to walk to the park without it being like an ordeal. You're able to just to move your body in a place where you ain't got to be like you were with 25, but you are definitely in a place where your age is not an excuse for why you cannot move. So no matter what you're doing in your life, the takeaway for this for sure is movement is critical. Movement is essential. Movement is longevity. So that is all about my spring reset. I hope that you guys are resetting too. Please definitely tell me down below what you're most looking forward to in resetting with this spring. And as always, I hope you comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.